Hi friends, my name is Al or Lilstarnerd, and welcome to my second video in my 12 Days of Christmas. I will be posting every Monday, Wednesday, and the weekend leading up to Christmas, and at the end of that may or may not be a sketchbook tour. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. I know you guys love those sketchbook tours. So I don't love tutorials. I don't love the concept of them. I'm not a huge fan. I don't think super highly of them. I just don't get it, you know? I don't get it. To be fair, I have never tried one before, so it's not really fair of me to like make this judgment. And not to say that they have like no use whatsoever. I think there are places where like those fine art tutorials do make sense. But for the average artist who already has their own skill level kind of built up, I don't really get why you would need one and why there are so many made. And as an artist myself, I don't get the appeal. Until I was scrolling through my Instagram Explore page and I came across this beautiful post of a gouache landscape painting. I saw it and I immediately was like, that's what I want my gouache paintings to look like. I wish I could do that. That's what I want to paint like. So I liked the post. I went to her Instagram. Her name is Ruth Wilshaw. I followed her, obviously. And I saw that she has tutorials on YouTube for the paintings that I had absolutely fallen in love with. And got like milliseconds, gut reaction. I was like, I need to follow this tutorial. I need to try this tutorial. Which is weird because I, like I said, don't like tutorials. And within me, a war was waging. On one hand, I know objectively that I don't think highly of tutorials. I don't think I'll learn anything. But on the other hand, I love Ruth. I love Ruth and I love her art and I want to learn from her. And so I decided to give it a chance. Why not, you know? I truly, firmly believe that if anyone has a chance at changing my mind on tutorials, making me see the value in them, learning from them, it's Ruth. I have just fallen head over heels in love with her art. She has so much skill. She's doing what I want to do. I feel that there's so much I could learn from her. And if she's offering that knowledge, why wouldn't I take it, right? So that's what we're gonna do today, and maybe by the end of this, I'll still feel the same way. I won't really get tutorials, or maybe I will. So without further ado, let's start painting. Okay, so I have everything set up. I watched like the first few minutes of this. So I have everything set up. I looked in the description. The description says, Payne's Gray, Titanium White, Primary Yellow, Primary Blue, which I don't, I have Titanium White, I don't have Payne's Gray, so I got black, and I don't have primary blue or yellow, but I do have blue and yellow from my Winsor & Newton set. And they don't mix super well. Like, they're not primaries, but we'll work with what we've got. And she also listed like a bunch of brushes, and I don't know, I just grabbed a bunch of brushes. So we're already off to a great start. I also think that she's using, what paper is she using? A 4x6. She's painting on a 4x6, and this is not a 4x6, so I'm kind of thinking maybe I want my dimensions to be a bit different. I think I'm just gonna, I think I'm gonna tape it off because it's definitely too long. I think I'm gonna do like 2 here, and I think that'll be about a 4x6. Yeah, see, that feels way too long. So I think if I do 2 on the long ends. Okay, I think we are as prepared as we're gonna be. My computer is over here, so that's why I'm not looking at you. Sorry.
The forest is a great place to lose yourself in textures and shades of green. And that's what we'll be doing in this short tutorial as we paint this illuminated spot deep in the woods.
How long is this video? This is only 6.5 minutes long, which could mean that it's super easy or that it's really, really hard. Okay.
And we'll begin with that beautiful light in the background.
Okay, oh wait,
we want to create...
Okay, sorry, let me prep my palette. How much paint does she have down? Okay, so like a normal amount of paint. Paint, palette, prepared, kind of.
We want to create a sense of light travelling through the trees, so using a wide flat or angled shader, we'll add a bright mixture of pale green made from primary blue, primary yellow, and white.
Okay, okay. It needs to be bright. Okay, that looks similar, right? I don't know, it looks similar to hers, but gouache dries so weird, you know? Okay, no, that looks the same to me. Am I going too far? When I watch other people do like Bob Ross tutorials, I'm always like, that's not what he did. Like, how are you doing this so badly? But like, I get it. This is actually really weirdly difficult, and this is the first step.
As we move over, we want to darken this
she looks like she has more white in the center. You didn't say that! Like, that looks lighter in the center. right? Is that just me? See, that dried really dark. I think I just need to do all this again. Way lighter.
As we move over, we want to darken this mixture a little for the more
Okay.
shadowy parts of the forest. And here I've done that with a little Payne's Grey added to the mix.
Okay, so we're just adding this to the mix. Okay, okay, it looks similar. We're doing it. I'm really confused. I don't work in layers like this, so I'm really confused how we're gonna get from here to that like beautiful final piece. Because it's not a long tutorial. This has no saturation. I'm going off script here. I'm going rogue. Is that dark enough? Okay, I think that should be darker. Hers looks so much greener. Mine looks like bluey gray. This is hard. What next, Ruth?
For the most distant area of this
Whoa,
scene, we
okay.
can add the suggestion of
Very different brush. Oh my god, I don't know if I have a brush that small. I should have prepared better.
we can add the suggestion of a few trees with
Okay.
a small round or a liner brush.
Okay. I don't know how dark it should be. Like hers looks borderline lighter. I'm afraid. Why am I afraid? Okay. Ruth, how did you draw those? I don't know how to do trees like that. That's really pretty. Okay, so like one here. Oh my gosh, I think I got that color spot on. Wait, let me see if she did that. Go back.
For the most distant area of
Okay,
this
trunk.
scene, we can add the suggestion of
Okay,
a
so
few
she does
trees
trunks
with a
first.
small round or a liner brush.
Okay, she went back and lightened
These don't need to be
hers.
anything fancy.
Definitely got darker. Okay, yeah, that's a sleigh. I'm too afraid to like change anything. Like I need to do it exactly the way she did it or else it's wrong. See, this is what I mean. Like I feel like I'm just turning, I mean, this is a me problem, but like I am not thinking for myself at all. I feel like it'll be ugly if I change anything. I don't trust myself, that's why I'm doing a tutorial. Oh, she did the ground too. Okay, you didn't tell me that, Ruth. Sorry, I'm not mad at you, Ruth. You're slaying. Okay, so she did a little bit of ground. Ew, that one was ugly. I just did an ugly tree. Fuck.
Over the top, we'll begin
Girl! Oh my god. I know it's only 6 minutes, but you are going so fast. Immediately, like, doing this tutorial, any knowledge that I had just, like, went out my brain. I'm not trusting myself to make a single decision here. It is kind of fun, though. I'm excited to see what it turns out as.
to add the closer layers of the forest.
Okay.
I've switched to a small round brush and I'm using a mixture of Payne's Grey and white to paint a sprinkle of trunks and then some rough
Okay.
brush marks.
Oh my god, she just did. I looked away for 1 second. Jesus. Okay. She said Payne's Grey and white, and it's there. Okay, they're somewhat. Okay. 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 That's, ooh, that might be too slanted. Is that too thin? Does it look ugly? So just slap on. See, I think this is too dark. I think I messed up. I think it's too dark. It's too late now though. Okay. Yeah, that's gotta be darker. This is really hard. Okay, no, I think that works. I will say, like, it's very impressive. She's skipping a lot of stuff, but like, I'm understanding, you know what I mean? Like, she's delivering this information in a very understandable way. Like, I am digesting, you know? Okay. See, this background is too dark. Dang it! What do trees look like? I'm literally just gonna try to exactly copy hers. Because I don't trust myself to do my own. This is one thing that I was actually really excited about doing this tutorial specifically, like a nature one. The thing about facial anatomy, like I can draw a face from my head because I understand facial anatomy, like I know what it looks like. But for nature stuff, like I don't know what it is or why it is or like what it looks like. I need a reference. I can't make stuff up. I don't understand it. And I'm hoping with a tutorial like this, I'll understand a little bit better, like why we do certain things, or, you know, maybe I'll have that epiphany moment of like, oh, that's why this happens. You know what I mean? Hers looks so much more natural than mine. What did I do wrong?
Grey and white to paint a sprinkle of trunks
Okay,
and then some
foliage,
rough
okay.
brush marks for the foliage.
So she went farther back first, I think. I mean, that's what it looks like. It looks like there's some lighter shades back here. This is pretty dark. Ah! Okay, she just did like rough brush strokes, but I'm afraid to like just go in there, you know what I mean? Also, honestly, I'm having a lot of fun. Like this is really relaxing to get to do a piece and know that it will come out at least decent in the end and to not have to put in any creative work. Like I don't have to make any decisions. And That's really nice. Like, this is fun. This is relaxing for me. Like, already, well, you're not done yet, but I think I'm better understanding the appeal to tutorials. We've got the foliage in. What is the next step?
You can also use this colour to create the shadowy suggestions of bushes around the base of these trees.
Okay. So we're doing bushes at the bottom of the trees. Bushes, bushes, bushes.
We add to this scene will be darker and more contrasted against the light in the background.
Oh, okay, so fat
and our
trees.
next
Okay.
trees can be a little bolder in size too.
Oh! Fat trees. Okay. Only two. Two fat, dark trees. Maybe I do want to go a bigger brush though. Okay, so we have a tree. Yeah, see, that doesn't seem dark enough. But what if, like, am I trying to preserve pure black for something down the road? Here. Ah! My hand is so shaky and wobbly.
The page will use some more vibrant greens to create this area that's illuminated.
Okay.
Mix your yellow and blue to create these greens.
Okay. You know those tutorials where it's like, you know, how to draw a bird. Step 1, draw a circle. Step 2, draw a bird. I'm feeling like that right now. Okay, so now we're doing the ground. I'm gonna use a brush that I'm not supposed to be using. I'm really enjoying this tutorial. Which, I mean, I knew I would because like I said, I really like Ruth, but I am surprised that I'm enjoying any tutorial at all.
You can use a larger brush to roughly add a brighter, more vibrant yellow-green spot in the center and darker, more shadowy.
Okay, so then she went back on top with like very green. I think her brush is way drier than mine. And she's also not saying anything about drying times. Like, am I supposed to be letting layers fully dry between? Is this what it's supposed to look like, Ruth? I don't know. What's next?
Shadowy greens around the edge. A little clever use of the dark green allows us to create detail in the shadowy foreground layer.
Okay, looking at it, I feel like hers is more vibrant in the background. Like, mine is really gray, and hers seems really yellow, which makes my grass feel really out of place. A wee bit worried. Actually, I think she did show us what it was supposed to look like in the beginning. And I don't think I was paying attention because that would have been nice information for me to have, honestly. Dry faster. We're only halfway through. This feels like, I mean, I've been filming for a lot longer than the video's been playing, but this is a long 6 minutes. We've got another bush over here. Kind of goes down like this. Okay, so it looks like she added, well, that looks like a shadow. She just added a whole lot of stuff and she didn't say anything. There's a bush over here, and then like a shadow, right? Like a shadowy thing going on here. She put a shadow here that kind of goes down this way. And then she has the shadow of this tree, right?
And we can use our darkest colour, pretty much just Payne's Grey here, to deepen the shadows at the bottom of the page.
Wait, what was
and
that
to
shadow
boldly
for?
paint our biggest foreground trees.
Okay. So we're using straight black to do what? To do what now? Okay, so we're adding just black to deepen. Oh wow, that's dark.
At the bottom of the page, and to boldly paint our biggest foreground trees.
I'm really scared to do that one. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we're only halfway through. Okay. So there's time to redeem this for me. How is she not getting hers to activate? Normally this isn't a problem for me, but I'm really struggling right now. I'm afraid. How is she not dealing with this issue right now? I honest to God don't normally deal with this issue, and I don't know what to do right now. I guess we'll like try to take it off a little bit, right? I'm panicking a little bit. I don't want to let Ruth down.
The rest of the work is in adding the details.
Okay, I like details.
And we'll work in much the same way, building layers of simple brushstrokes to create something that looks quite busy and complex.
Okay, but what did you
Hanging down
do?
from the top of the page, I've
No, hold
used
on.
a
She
dull
just
greyish
she did not explain what she did. I'll go back to that too.
brushstrokes to create something that looks quite busy and complex.
Slay, that's what
Hanging
I do.
down
I agree.
from the top of the page, I've used a dull greyish green to paint the lower limbs of the closest trees.
Right, okay. Okay. To do clusters of branches. This is where I'm really worried. This is the kind of stuff that I'm straight up bad at. These very like natural looking like textures and stuff. I'm trying to make it look like hers. I don't think it's working. This doesn't look like the way she did it. It really doesn't. This isn't looking right to me. I'm just gonna kind of fake it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing right now.
For the foreground details, we can use a selection of darker greens to create small branches, interesting leafy plants, and other forest textures to bring this area to life.
So we need like branches. Again, this is like that natural stuff that like I really don't know how to do. And I don't have the trees that she has to like make them stick out of, so I'm kind of messed up right here. Like it's very thrown off. Like they're looking very, very different, which is gonna make it really hard to make this make sense. Like to do the same thing and make it look right. Okay, I guess I'll have to go with that.
Of darker greens to create small branches, interesting leafy plants, and other forest textures to bring this area to life. Forest textures.
Okay, so I guess just like texture. Mine doesn't look as good. How does she do that and make it look normal? I want to work in some more of this light area back in here because I feel like I lost a lot of that.
I like a liner brush for the finest details and my size 4 round for bigger leafy shapes.
Oh my gosh, we're adding cute little trees. Okay, so she's got this branch over here. Okay, I think there's a lot over here that I'm kind of missing. Are these too short? They feel a little short. I want to add like a little branch there. Okay, so let's do leaves for these cute little trees. I feel like I'm gonna be graded after this. I think I'm supposed to add grass here. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look bad, right? Does that look good? I'm really scared about this part. I don't trust myself to do this well. Okay, and then another scraggly branch right there. I don't have an angled shader. Okay.
Add the busy pine needle texture.
Okay, so she does so much in like tiny little snippets. Okay, pine needles. I don't know what that looks like. Really like that dramatic kind that she has here. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Pine needles, I can do that. Kind of. I mean, I can try. I mean, I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, including my own. I don't know that I can. Whenever people tell me, oh, you make it look so easy, I'm always like, what do you mean? I get it.
And these dark marks contrast beautifully against the lightest part of the scene behind.
So then we're doing these little branches over here, and we're adding... Okay, it looks like hers is mixing a little bit. Wait, okay. Give me a second. I'm trying to deal with this mixing paint. So little tiny like plants, I guess, just like in general. See, I feel like she has way more foreground elements than I do, and I'm feeling a little lost because of that. Like, I don't know what to do over here.
And I use the tip of a round brush to create small clusters of leaves with this color.
Right, okay, gotcha.
Any of the greens you have laying around on your palette can be used to create the suggestion of little plants or grassy textures. Just keep in mind where the shadows from the trees would fall. I like to add the lighter colors.
Oh my god. Okay, so she's literally just going back and just like adding a whole bunch of colors. Okay. Okay. Okay, then she's going back in with the dark green to replace shadows. Okay. Gotcha. I don't think I lost any shadows though, but I mean, I lost a lot of elements. Okay, so she like blurred this stuff. Okay.
Forest.
Oh, we're done. Okay, so let me peel the tape. We're gonna let it dry and then we'll talk about final thoughts. Okay, so final thoughts. It's been a few weeks since I followed the tutorial and I gave my final thoughts then, but I don't think that they were accurate. I have new final thoughts. At the time, I wasn't sure that I had really learned anything. I had fun doing the tutorial and I enjoyed my time. It was like a fun little challenge, but I wasn't sure that I was learning anything or that my mind had been changed about tutorials. Obviously, no disrespect to Ruth. Like I said, I really enjoyed the tutorial, but some things have happened that have fully made me change my mind, like complete 180. I've done a few different gouache pieces that are in a similar vein to the one in the tutorial, like landscapes and trees. And I didn't notice until after I had done them, but I realized that those paintings went really, really easily. The things that I normally struggle with, like, I didn't even think about. And I realized that I was using a lot of the stuff that I had learned from Ruth's tutorial to do those paintings. My approach, layering, and how trees work, and branches, and leaves, and lighting, and nature. All of a sudden, all that stuff made so much more sense to me, and I had techniques that I could use, and I knew how I wanted things to look. Whereas before, that was where I always struggled. I didn't know how to mentally figure out a landscape, and that's what I wanted to learn from this tutorial. And it turns out I did. I learned so much from a 6-minute tutorial. I feel so different about landscapes now. Specifically trees, but that was where I had the most issues, so like I am just blown away by how much I feel that I learned from a 6-minute video where the goal wasn't even to teach you anything, it was just to do a process of one painting with you. So now looking back, like in hindsight, Ruth has completely changed my mind about tutorials. I get it, I get tutorials. This was a tutorial that wasn't even meant to teach you something, and I feel that I have learned so much. So Ruth has just single-handedly like changed my mind about tutorials. I totally get them, I get why people like them, I get why people make them. And I take back anything negative I've ever said about them. I so badly want to go and do all of her tutorials now because I feel like there's so much more to learn, and I want my art to look like hers when I do landscapes, so I'm really tempted to go back and do all of her tutorials. Yeah, I just feel like I jumped the gun by saying that like, oh, I don't know how I feel about tutorials because I hadn't really put any of that knowledge into practice, and now that I have, like, it makes a world of difference having just that one 6-minute tutorial under my belt. If you are on the verge about tutorials, you're not sure if they have a lot of value, whatever, if you're just interested in doing something fun or you want to learn how to do landscapes, I implore you to go check out Ruth and follow all of her tutorials. Go give her some love. I had faith. I had faith that Ruth could change my mind, and you know what? She did it. She absolutely did it. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I updated you guys because I feel like it would be unfair for me to not let you know that my thoughts were wrong originally. I was wrong about tutorials. My final thoughts before were wrong. I'm right now. Tutorials are good. Okay, we'll go back to that. Of course, all of Ruth's information will be linked down below, as well as the link to this tutorial. I genuinely do recommend that you try it and go give her some love. This was fun. Okay, that's it for today's video. Thank you for coming along with me. Thank you, Ruth, for making this tutorial. I hope you're getting excited for the holiday season. I am. We've got 10 more videos coming. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, the whole shebang. Go check out Ruth, try a tutorial, and go do some art.